Hello Figment, my name's Chris Wilson, and in this tutorial, we'll be setting up a fresh JavaScript project with .env. This video guide explains how to set up a new project directory for working with JavaScript code. And we will be continuing on the Docker setup for Windows. So if you haven't watched this video yet or done this doc, go ahead and do that. That'll save you a lot of headaches when working with a Windows system. And now we're going to set up our project with .env. So we're going to want to make sure we have Node.js installed. If you're on Windows, I highly recommend using Node Version Manager. That can be found at nvm Windows, and that should pop up at Corey Butler GitHub. And once you get here, you're going to come over here to the right side under Releases. And then we're going to scroll down and we want the NVM setup zip. We can go ahead and click that and click save. And then you'll go through the process, download it. I'm pretty sure you guys know how to download things. I already have it installed, so I won't be going through the monotonous click box, accept. But that is where you find it. So we'll download NVM. And once the installation is complete, or if you already have Node.js installed, let's go ahead and open Ubuntu and we can run the command node-v, and that's how we get our version. And then to use the Node Version Manager, you can come down here and there is all the commands and how to use it right down here. Highly recommend giving this a good once over, and that way you won't be breaking any of your projects when you try to change your Node version in the middle of them. All right, initialize the project directory. Let's open up Ubuntu, and in here we can run code MKDIR, which is make directory, and we're going to do test. And test already exists because we made it in the previous video. Now we can go cd, and that's change directory, or we can do my favorite, and that's code, and then test. And that's going to open up the test directory inside VSCode. Here we are inside the test directory. There's our test file. So this is our first time in here. We're going to need to go to terminal, new terminal. And now inside here, we can run npm init-y. npm init-y. And there is our package JSON, freshly created. Now we can run npm install --save.env. And there we are. That's exactly what we want. And see, this just made a package lock JSON. So let's go over these commands just a little bit more. MKDIR, as we said, creates our project directory. The directory name can be changed to anything suitable. It does not need to remain sample code. As you see in ours, we changed it to test. The cd command changes into the newly created directory, making it the working directory. Run the node package manager, npm, optionally with the -y flag to skip the prompts and generate a default package.json. Install the .env package, which will allow us to access environmental variables in our code. Assuming no errors during the installation of .env, the project directory will now contain these files as directories in the following structure. Sample code, so that'll be test, package.json, package lock.json, and node modules. So node modules, package lock, package test. Perfect. If we look at package test, there's our .env right there. Beautiful. Since we use the save flag when installing, it will be much easier to see the dependencies are installed looking inside the package.json file as we just did. For anybody unfamiliar with environmental variables, you can refer to our guide on .env and env at this point to understand the package and what it's used for, and that will be the next video picking up where this one ends off. The import keyword was introduced in Node.js version 12, a language feature to simplify the use of modules. Alternatively, we could use a .mjs file extension for all of our JavaScript files. However, adding this line to package.json enable us to keep the JS file extension, and saves a lot of hassle with configuration. So let's go ahead and add type module to our package.json file. And there we go. We have added it to our package.json file. That's going to allow us to use the ES6 modules, and you can get more information on how to reference that down here. With these steps completed, we now have a project directory that is prepared to have other dependencies installed into it using np install or yarn add. The basic setup is a sufficient start to be able to write and execute further JavaScript code using Node.js. The next step being to install whichever dependencies we would like to learn about. This is a good way to experiment and become familiar with particular JavaScript libraries. As always, if you had any trouble following this tutorial or simply want to discuss Web3 and DataHub tech, you can join our Discord in the link down below. I look forward to seeing you there, and until next time, happy coding.